What's up, nation? Welcome to another edition of the NFL DFS podcast. I am your host, Patio Joe, and me and Paulie D, we are back after a 1-week hiatus. Be sure to follow me at Patio Joe Ref on Twitter, and of course, you can follow Paulie D at Paulie8Ds. Paulie, we haven't seen each other in a while. We've been busy. We've been in and out. We've had some technical difficulties. We weren't here last week, but we're back. How are you doing?
Doing well, doing very well. A little bit of a heater in NBA, which is always fun. And, holiday season, year winding down, just a good time in life. I'm doing good. How about you?
Doing well. Like you said, the holiday season's here. For me as a dad, it's pretty cool because, the twins are almost 4, and I feel like it's like the first year that they really understand Christmas, like what's coming and like Santa and the presents and everything. So it's like they're really getting into it. So it's kind of cool. Like it kind of like reigniting, that's, it's kind of nice and stuff like that. So looking forward to that. DFS wise, last time we talked, I was 9-2 going into week number, what was it, 11 or 12?
11.
And now we've won 2 weeks in a row, and I sit at 11-2 on the cash game. Had some good late heroics by Deontay Johnson. That touchdown last week put me over the cash line. The week before was a pretty easy cash. So I've just been rolling along, doing great, feeling good. This is a interesting slate this week. I feel like, honestly, I looked at it, and to me, this is like a Paulie D special slate. Like, this is like something right up your wheelhouse because, to me, besides just the Buffalo, Tennessee, Tampa Bay game, which I could see going, we're going to talk about that game. I could see going one of a few ways. Like, there's not another game that really like sticks out to where like really going to want to invest in this game. There's a lot of if, ands, or buts coming in. And, there's a couple, I think there's going to be some places where we're going to want to pick on certain things here and there. But, there's, like I said, there's like one game.
Yeah, I mean, that Bills game you mentioned, Bills-Tampa has a 53 and change total, and then the next highest one's like 48.5. So,
and I was noticing all the totals started at the week. They've all gone down.
Yeah, a lot have, yes.
So, to me, I feel like it's just it's a muddy slate, and that's something that I think like it's something that you love because you just the people won't know. They'll just go to the main chalk plays, and that's where you'll get an edge and stuff like that. That's right. I did say edge. So that being said, Paulie, on DK at quarterback, I feel like, Brady is priced down at 7,600 a little bit. I think Mahomes being the number one quarterback on the slate, or Allen, I feel like it's between those two. Last time Mahomes just ripped up the Raiders in Las Vegas, tore them up. Now they're at home. It's a must-win game because if they don't, they got the Chargers. We're playing the Giants against, a rookie quarterback. They're going to be tied with them. So, and that puts the Raiders back in the race. I think that, it's either Mahomes or Josh Allen. The only way you're going to be able to beat Tampa is if you're going to be able to throw, because Tampa stops the run and Buffalo can't even run as it is. So to me, it's Josh Allen. The only way they're going to win this game is Josh Allen. I think if you want to, I think a very popular cash game quarterback is going to be Lamar Jackson on both sides, just because he's kind of priced down, but the upside with his legs that he gives you isn't bad at his price. Then you could go down and dumpster dive a little bit with quarterback, but those are the guys I think that are going to get most of the ownership. What do you think, Paulie?
So There's not a ton of spend ups at the skill positions, which should drive the ownership up of some of these high end guys like Mahomes, Brady, and Allen. But I do think Taysom Hill is going to get a lot of ownership based on his matchup, how he did last week, and his price. But it's weird because we don't have a lot of spend ups. You don't need that savings. But him and even Cam Newton possibly against Atlanta could be attractive, cheap quarterbacks. But I think Taysom Hill, after putting up a 24, even with throwing 4 picks against Dallas, taking on the Jets, is going to be very popular. But there's really not that many spend ups. So, I think spending up at the quarterback position is the way to go. I don't know if you have to go all the way up, but there really isn't a ton of guys just to pay for him. It's late.
I mean, let's get into that Tampa game, because to me, I feel like if Tampa wants to get into a shootout with Buffalo, they can. But I also feel like this could be a Leonard Fournette game. And just run the ball. They saw what New England did against them 6 days ago or on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why try and get in a shootout knowing that your secondary isn't the best in Tampa? It's a must-win game for Buffalo. So I feel like we're going to start off with any lineup. It's like Josh Allen and then Fournette. That's just the way I look at it. I mean, even if Tampa gets ahead, it's probably because Fournette ran some in, and then Josh has got to come back and pass because they're going to pass a lot. I have a feeling. I don't think they're going to run.
I mean, they throw the ball a ton regardless. They have the highest pass rate over expectation all season long, besides the Chiefs. And you don't run against Tampa. So, yeah, I think they're going to throw the ball. Josh Allen could probably do some damage on his feet. That's like the only path I see the Bills having any success. I could see them, even if they don't have success, being forced to throw a ton. It definitely makes Josh Allen attractive. I'm just a little bit concerned. I don't have that much respect for the Patriots, and they really shut down this Bills team. And that was a lot weather related, so you can't just, use that as the what's going to happen in the future. But I don't know. The Bills offense has not been great the last few weeks. Tampa's got a good D. I wouldn't be shocked if this game doesn't go through the roof scoring. You know what I mean? I'm still kind of torn, but I feel you. With the Tampa Bay side, it's tough to really plant your flag on any of them. They're definitely going to want to use Fournette, keep Allen off the field, but they also their best skill is throwing the ball. I like Gronk. He's always done well against Buffalo. He seems to, now that he's healthy, his targets are way up. And then, I do have some respect for the Bills secondary, Godwin. They're fine, but I don't love any of them on Tampa, any of the skill players. So, they're just all right to me. I don't know how much I'm going to get exposure to the Tampa Bay side.
I mean, Tre'Davious White is out for the Bills, so that makes secondaries a little bit less. I think if we're, for the purposes of this lineup, I think we should do Fournette and Gronk with Josh Allen, and then if you want to get a little bit different, instead of saying Diggs, I want to go with Cole Beasley. Beasley gets over almost over a 25% target share when they're running zone defenses, to which the Buccaneers run it 75% of the time. That's fourth most in the league. So I feel like this is a Cole Beasley week with Josh Allen and with Fournette and Gronk. What do you think about that?
I mean, I'm fine with all that. I really have almost no interest in Fournette, but I'm fine putting him in there if you want.
Okay.
I just think he's overpriced, and he'd have to have a pretty good game, I think, to be a top player at the running back position.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, let's just go there and see what we can go with. Tight end, we'll go with Gronk. It's a little different on FanDuel. We'll do a little something different. And then, are you good with Beasley too?
Yeah, I'm fine with Beasley on DK for sure.
Yeah, I feel like on FanDuel, I wouldn't mind going Diggs or Emmanuel Sanders.
Man, Let me look at something real quick. Like, I feel like Emmanuel Sanders is like
Oh, he's
not
done
even.
nothing.
Yeah, like I like what's his name? Gabriel, the four-string receiver.
Gabriel Davis, yeah.
Yeah, he's
That'd be
been coming.
way dark.
I'm not saying to do that. I'm just saying like why I might not be interested in Sanders. Let me just look at the snap. He got 80% of the snaps. Beasley got 70. Diggs got 95. Dawson Knox got 98, which is another guy that maybe you have some interest in. Not for this lineup because we have Gronk. Gabriel Davis 30%. So I mean, I guess Sanders is fine, but I'm not that interested in him. But if he's really cheap on FanDuel, sure, I wouldn't argue it.
All right, and then I want to just go down to defense right now. To me, I feel like Carolina at 2,800 facing Atlanta at home is the lowest right now that I would want to go. Obviously, maybe the Jets might gain some steam just because Taysom Hill, a few interceptions, that's all you need. I mean, he could, at 2,500, but we got 2,800, $300 more. Matt Ryan on the road against Carolina. I like that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Totally fine with that.
All right, so then that moves us down to we got a running back, 2 wide receiver position flex. Going back to the running back position this week, I feel like the running back that is probably going to get the big ownership this week is going to be Austin Eckler.
It's got to be now.
With the news of Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, definitely Mike Williams is out. He's not vaccinated. So he's out. Keenan Allen has a chance. If they're both out, this is going to be the Austin Eckler show.
Absolutely.
I mean,
I like Austin Eckler with them in. So take them both out. You got it.
I mean, I feel like he's like the pay up option, especially on DK with the full point PPR and stuff like that.
Staying there though, like what Charger value receiver or tight end are you most interested in, assuming both guys are out? I know you got to think for Palmer.
I would say on FanDuel, I would like Guyton because he could catch 1 or 2 passes, and he could give value. Like last week, he caught like 2 passes and he made value. You mean how they got 1 bomb, got a touchdown. If Allen's out, Josh Palmer is going to take the Allen role, and that's who I would like on DK.
And how about Jared Cook?
Cook is a good spot too. Like I feel like if they're both out, then I feel like guys like Donald Parham come into play. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a great value tight end. All he needs to do is catch 1 in the red zone that they're going to do that. I could totally see Parham coming into play. But there's obviously some value to get there with the Chargers. I mean, who would you bring it back with? Would you bring it back with any of the Giants at all in that game?
I mean, first we got to see who's there. I do think Saquon is really interesting. I don't really like playing 2 running backs, but you run against the Chargers. If Kadarius Toney is healthy and playing, he's fine. If Sterling Shepard is healthy and playing, he's extremely cheap. But Saquon was a guy when I first looked at this was like, he's in a good spot. Before all the, Austin Eckler became like the lock of the slate. Maybe you do play both if you do want to run it back, but I see myself just having like Eckler one off or Eckler and a value receiver from this game and not doing a ton.
All right, so I mean we'll probably have to move off of Fournette if we put in Eckler. So I'm cool with that. What other receivers would you want to do? Would you want to put in there?
What kind of money we got?
I took out Fournette, and now we have 5,000 per player with 4 players left.
So I really like DK Metcalf. Tyler Lockett, was hobbled at the end of that game. Houston's defense is terrible. Seattle, got the win against San Fran in the dome on turf. Like, I could see this being a blow-up spot for DK. I think Terry McLaurin's a phenomenal play. Washington's been coming on. Both Dallas and Washington need to win, and you can throw on Dallas. Deebo Samuel, if he's back and healthy, I'm interested in. I do like Stephon Diggs. But DK Metcalf's probably one of my favorites right now.
Mm-hmm. He is just so due for a 40-point slate-breaking game.
Yeah, and they lost their running back. Like, they don't have any bodies. If Lockett's a little hobbled, or, dealing with an injury, like, he's going to be the guy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's against the Bengals. Like, that game could shoot out.
You mean, it's a Houston.
I'm Houston, my bad. Houston, yeah. Houston.
Yeah.
They're terrible.
All right, cool. Let's walk in DK Metcalf then at 6,500. One of our wide receiver spots. That leaves us with 45.3. Let's go with, try to find a value running back.
I mean, Javonte Williams, you got to be interested in against Detroit, right?
Yes, I am, but Melvin Gordon did practice today.
Okay.
So if he's back, that just muddles things. The guy that I'm looking at right now is Jermichael Hasty of the 49ers. Elijah Mitchell missed practice with a concussion today. He also has a knee problem that they put to. I am putting I'm right now is Wednesday at this point at 9:30 on Wednesday or 12:30 Eastern time on Thursday. I don't think Elijah Mitchell plays this week. And Jeff Wilson was out late of that game late of that game too with a knee problem. He did practice today, but we saw when he was chalk 3-4 weeks ago, he can't do it. His knee just can't hold up. So I want to put in Jermichael Hasty in that spot. I think he's probably dirt cheap.
I'm sure.
I will give us the money that we need. And then we can put him in there. And then we get a flex and a wide receiver spot.
And how much money we got?
Right now, my computer's being a little slow. I'm trying to put him in there. I don't even know. He's not even coming up. That's weird. Oh, there he's 4,000.
Yep.
So, I mean, at 4,000, that's just too good. That puts us a great spot. What would we want now? That leaves us with 4,800 for receiver and a flex.
Well, I guess a Charger value play would make sense. I like the Jaguar receivers this week again against Tennessee. They're both very cheap.
I mean, Josh Palmer is 3,000 on FanDuel right now.
Yeah.
If Keenan Allen doesn't play, he's going to be very popular. That leaves us 6,600 for a flex spot if we put in Palmer with that Paulie D. At 6,600, we can get a good player and lock him in. Let's see. Let's move down.
Mike Evans,
which I like him better on the outside. They did this the stats for Godwin in the dome are way better than Evans in the domes games, and outside Evans does better than Godwin does.
Right. I mean, we already have Gronk, but there's just no one else in this range that I'm actually really interested in.
Yeah. So let's go with Evans. and lock that in a little stack with Josh Allen and Beasley. It could be a good game. I mean, they score a couple touchdowns, they make value. So to recap, we got Allen as our quarterback. We got running backs JaMychal Hasty and Austin Eckler. Wide receivers Cole Beasley, DK Metcalf, and Josh Palmer. Tight end Rob Gronkowski. Flex position, we got Mike Evans. And we got the Panthers D. Moving on to FanDuel. FanDuel, the pricing is a little bit different. Not too different, but a little like Josh Allen's the highest quarterback there. Mahomes is 8,500. Lamar Jackson 79. Dak is 81. Kind of like Dak. You know, we could throw on Washington. We didn't talk about him. He's finally got probably CeeDee Lamb and a healthy Amari Cooper because he wasn't too healthy 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I think he was on the COVID list, wasn't he, Cooper?
Correct. Well, he came, but he did play last Thursday. So he just was limited.
Mm-hmm.
Cooper. So what do you think about Dak Prescott this week?
Totally fine with it. You know, I mean, I do think the Redskins defense has been playing much better of late, but you know, Dak Prescott, when he's on, it really doesn't matter. You know, I think you want to still pass against the Redskins. You know, I don't expect them to do too well with the run game. So I'm totally fine with the low on Dak Prescott.
Well, yeah, that's good. Let's do that because we also got Tony Pollard missed practice today for the first time this year. He has like a heel problem or something wrong with his leg. And then we all know that Zeke, they're trying to limit his snaps too. So maybe they're going to try and pass more. And you said that we can pass on Dallas. So let's lock in Dak at 8,100. I like this. It's a little different. I think this game could shoot out. I mean, I know Dallas
Definitely.
and Washington in recent history has played some really ugly games, but I think it could shoot out. Now, what's the receiver? Obviously, you're going to want McLaurin.
Mm-hmm.
But what's the receiver you want to bring it back with?
I mean, CeeDee Lamb is really pricey, but like, you know, to me, he's the guy. I don't like playing Cooper unless it's on turf.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, that to me, it's CeeDee Lamb or nothing. Like, sure, you know, the tight end could have a good game. Sure, Gallup could have a good game. But, I mean, that's like you're catching variance. Like, CeeDee Lamb's the clear number one go-to guy in this offense when they're throwing the ball.
Mm-hmm. All right, good. So we'll go Dak, CeeDee Lamb, McLaurin. Would you want anything else other than the game? Would you want Gibson? Would you want, I think, under the radar play would be Ricky Seals-Jones. He's coming back. Logan Thomas is out with the torn ACL. He's done the year. Ricky Seals-Jones is back. He's a value play. Dalton Schultz.
What's McKissick's status?
McKissick is practicing this week. Now, moving down to just tight end in general, just the position in general this week, Paulie. On FanDuel, the price differences on FanDuel compared to a DK with Kelsey and Gronk and Kittle, they're pretty much all close together on FanDuel. We got Kelsey at 7,500, Kittle at 7,100, and Gronk at 7,000. I think, you know, recency bias is going to make Travis Kelsey the least owned of those three.
That's crazy.
What do you think I'm wrong, or do you
No, like to have him be the least owned of those three because he's owned the Raiders his whole career, and you know
that's what I'm getting at. Like
they're down to two guys like they're using pretty much. It's him and Tyreek. Like the pass tree is so narrow. Like
yeah, like that's what I'm getting at. Like I feel like everybody's gonna see Kittle's 40 points last week and just go to him. They're going to see Kelsey busting on, Sunday Night Football against Denver again. It's all recency bias, and that's what the public goes for. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like there's edge there, you know? Mm-hmm. And Gronk obviously has been doing great. I would rather almost play Gronk more than Kittle, to be honest with you. And I could be wrong on Kittle, but Kittle obviously is brittle, too. So he can be done.
You missed Kittle. That was it last week. You're not going to do that again. Like,
Yeah, that was the Kittle game. So to me, I feel like in cash games, I'm going to really be tough not to want, because you said there's not a lot of guys to pay up for this week.
There's not on DraftKings. I mean, the whole slate, really. You know, you have the two Chiefs guys, you got Austin Eckler, and like that's it. There's no Jefferson, there's no C-Mac, there's no, Dalvin Cook, any of the expensive running backs, the Colts running back. There's not much.
So I like Kelsey this week. I don't know if we're going to have him for this lineup, but he might be in my core because I feel like the edge that you're going to get is just so great.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we're definitely going to need some value now. Like,
I didn't put him in there.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
No. I didn't put him in there right now. I just was like, I wanted to kind of just talk about the position in general. Defense. I want to lock in a defense right now. Like, obviously, the Jets are 3,000. They're the cheapest defense on FanDuel. To me, I feel like that's even more of a chalk defense now. Like, how can they not get a couple sacks or a pick or a fumble from off of Taysom Hill?
Totally with it.
So if you're not paying for the Jets, the Chargers at 4,300 against maybe Jake Fromm, who they signed off who the Giants signed off the practice squad from the Bills like 2 weeks ago. I think that's who I would probably be going towards too.
Yep.
All right. Should we lock in Eckler too in this lineup?
You got to have somebody from the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
Can we afford him?
I mean, he's 9,200. What's your thoughts on Alvin Kamara this week?
By the numbers, it's a phenomenal spot. I hate Taysom Hill, that combination. I do want to play some of him if he's not going to be popular, but in my opinion, it's going to be very unlikely that he gets the volume to really just destroy the slate. Like, you'd almost need the Jets to lead for Kamara to have that blow up game. You know what I mean? Like, if they get on the goal line, it's probably going to go through Taysom or whoever. And, it's like, I don't see it. I don't see him having a ceiling. But if he's going to be extremely low owned, sure, I'll have some. But I'm not that excited about him. He hasn't played in a long time. I envision this being a really low scoring game. I don't think so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Austin Eckler, 9,200. I like that. He's a little pricey, but in a slate where there's not very many to pay up for. And then obviously, I think if Gordon doesn't play this week, Javonte Williams will become the highest owned player, 6,700, which, by the way, Paulie, me and you were on Javonte Williams all year.
All season.
I drafted him in the 4th or 5th round of my main fantasy team. He was one of my favorite running back coming out this year. Really, really, I'm hoping he gets more of. I hope it's basically switched. At least I know Gordon's coming back, and maybe before it was like 60-40 Gordon. Now I hope it's 60-40 Javonte. Mm-hmm. That's what we can hope for. At running back, we need to get another running back in here.
Yeah, I don't think we can afford him, but I do want to mention Josh Jacobs. His backup, whose name eludes me right now, is out.
Kenyon
Drake. His pass game volume's already been on the rise. You can run on the Chiefs. They're, maybe getting Waller back, but they're missing bodies in the pass game already. He got 9 targets last game. Really, really excellent spot for Josh Jacobs in all formats. If he's going to get the goal line work, 5+ targets and 10+ carries against a very, very poor run defense. He's extremely interesting to me.
All right. Yeah, I like him. He's definitely. And he's had some good games against the Chiefs too. But because we went high with Eckler, we're gonna go with the value of Hasty again.
Mm-hmm.
And then that leaves us 6,700 for a wide receiver, a tight end, and a flex. That means we can pay up for Kelsey.
Yeah.
Which I like. Which I think we should do. And then that leaves us 6,300 for a wide receiver and a flex spot. Now, if this was a GBP lineup, I don't mind going with Javonte Williams at 6,700 and then going down a little bit on receiver. What do you think?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I like the idea of throwing Guyton into this team. What about Chuba Hubbard? Is he
Chuba?
Yeah, no C-Mac against the Falcons. Not that it's great to run against, but it's great to throw to the running back against. And I would assume he's going to be pretty cheap. You have any interest there?
I don't mind it. I think Amir Abdullah there is going to
be a problem. Sure.
Away. Would you be interested in maybe like a Hunter Renfrow at 6,700? I know it's on FanDuel and it's a half point, but his price being 6,700 is for a reason.
I would say if Waller's back, that would definitely be a strike against. But no, the volume's real. I expect him to be trailing. He's a better DraftKings play as well. Mm-hmm. So there's a handful of things to pay attention to with regards to Hunter Renfrow, but I'm totally fine with him.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it has a little correlation there with Kelsey.
Mm-hmm.
So then if we did that, that leaves us with 5,900 for flex spot. So would you, in this lineup, so you would prefer Renfrow over Javonte Williams because they're the same price?
It depends. I honestly really do like Javonte Williams. Even if Melvin Gordon's totally fine, he's probably not going to be on that team next year. Aren't they going to start to give Javonte the bulk of the work?
Yeah. I mean, and they're still in the playoff hunt. They're not completely out of it.
Yeah, nobody is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. Jeez. That 7 spot now has just made everything so convoluted and everything. So, all right, let's go with Javonte Williams at 6,700. And that leaves us 5,900 for a receiver that we can pay down for, which I'm sure there'll be somebody. Josh Jacobs' price on FanDuel at 7,100 is pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
For his volume, he almost is definitely in the cash game range on that price.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he's almost game script agnostic at this point.
Yeah, with the pass game volume. Emmanuel Sanders is 5'8". If you want to get a touch from that game,
Mm-hmm. All right, so wide receiver. Here's off topic, Paulie D, have you ever been to a Whataburger?
No.
No, have you heard of it?
Yeah. Good.
I've had it once or twice. It's funny because people compare it to In-N-Out. Have you ever been to In-N-Out?
No.
No. Well, In-N-Out, it's so weird because the comparison, I just don't feel like it's a comparison. To me, I taste it. It tastes more like a McDonald's burger. But man, people compare it to In-N-Out all the time. And if you saw In-N-Out, In-N-Out's fresh, good like ingredients and stuff. Like
Yeah, that over here, that's like Five Guys is like the Whataburger, and Burger Fi is like very, very good.
but even Five Guys though out here is like $15 a burger. Like In and Out is like $6. That's why,
Okay.
like, and like Whataburger is like a cheap fucking yeah. So yeah, I like either Sanders. I don't mind Tyler Boyd, and I know that sounds weird. I know he's more of a DK play too, but Tyler Boyd is going to be the slot guy in that offense, and Burrow hurt his hand. Saw that, right?
Mm-hmm.
He hurt his hand this week. We might not be able to throw it far downfield. He might need doing more short passes. But I'm going to go with Emmanuel Sanders in this lineup. At some point, this guy's got to do something again. You know what I mean? He's done nothing.
And when he does, it's going to be a 2-touchdown game. It's like that's like his MO his whole career.
And this could be it. I mean, he's faced them again when he's with the Saints and stuff. So with this lineup, we got Dak Prescott, Austin Eckler, Michael Hasty, CeeDee Lamb, Terry McLaurin, Emmanuel Sanders, Travis Kelce, Javonte Williams, and the Jets D. All right. We do have what do you think about Austin Hooper this week against the Ravens?
It doesn't do very much for me, but he's fine.
Because the reason why is because there's no Harrison Bryant and Njoku's on the COVID list. So it's just basically all him. So it's weird. All right, let's go for our best bets this week. Paulie D, what do you got?
I like the Steelers money line tomorrow night.
So you think Steelers are going to win, huh?
Yeah.
That'd be good. It'd be a definite, little bit of a upset, I think, but I could see it.
I mean, the Lions beat Minnesota last week.
Mm-hmm. I have the under in the Bucks.
I like that too. I really do. I don't think that game shoots out, but it could.
And
I'll take the Lions plus 7.5 too. I think they, I don't know if they win, but I think they put up a good fight against Denver.
They make it close.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, and I like, man. Do I see Ravens are 4.5 point underdogs?
No.
Their favorite by 4?
No, I see 2.5. I see them as 2.5 point dogs. That's even crazy.
Okay,
too.
2.5.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll take, and I know this might be, I'll take the over in the Green Bay Chicago game. It's 43.
Mm-hmm.
But I just feel like we have a late backdoor cover with Fields running at the end of the game. It's like, and Rodgers is going to come out and just toss the ball around all game. Coming off by, to me, 43.5.
I'm with you, Ashley. 35 degrees, 12-mile-per-hour winds, like minimal weather impact. I see you getting over that.
Bold cold weather team,
yeah.
like,
Mm-hmm.
even if it could be, it could be 35-14. You know what I'm saying? That could be totally logical. The Bears could get blown out, and the over is completely over under is completely blown out too at 43.5. So I like that. Man, some of these, like Falcons and Carolina opened up at 40.5, and it's down to 42.5, down 6 points. Like,
yeah, that doesn't make much sense.
Wow, like some of these games are just, it's just weird. So, anyways, guys, all right, thank you for joining us for the Week 14 podcast. Be sure to look for our articles that'll be coming out sometime Saturday afternoon. and such. Paulie D's article comes out maybe late Saturday night, early Sunday morning. And obviously look for CK's core plays also that come out on Saturday. Join the nation. All right. So anything else you got to say, Paulie D, before we get out of here?
Oh, man. Close it out.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go to 12-2. That's what I'm going to be doing. All right, guys. So for Paulie D, I'm Patio Joe. And as our man CK says in the back, good luck.
Thanks.
Yeah.